Five Nights at Freddy's. Since 2014, this franchise has done nothing but grow in popularity. From games to books to more games to even more books and, well, a movie that I'm actually going to see tomorrow at the time of this video. Along with the jump scares and unique character designs, the series is well known for its confusing yet captivating lore. Lore that I think I have solved today. However, I want to solve it without talking about the books whatsoever. I want to test, is the FNaF lore possible to solve without even thinking about the books? All I'm going to be using are the games, including AR, including Help Wanted. Every single game in the series I'm going to be treating as the canon, including FNaF World. So welcome to part 1 of what I believe to be my answer to the Five Nights at Freddy's story and building a game-only timeline. Buckle up and grab some pizza that you should probably question if it's even edible, and get ready because this is no cakewalk. Before we get into that though, it would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe and hit the like button down below. It would show me that I am doing something right, I don't know, but this video took a lot of effort, a lot of research, and it took a lot of love that I put into this because I am a huge fan of this franchise. I have been since August of 2014. You know, at a lot of points where you thought the franchise was going to end and it hasn't, I don't know. Part of me is happy it hasn't ended because I love this franchise so much, but part of me really thinks, like, come on, Scott, come on. End it, please, please. I'm sure the money is great, but please, I cannot keep seeing William come back. I know he comes back, but Jesus. A man can only go through so much fire. Alright, anyway, on with the video. Hope you guys enjoy it. "5 days until the party. What did he do this time? He locked you in your room, again. Don't be scared. I am here with you." We start with Five Nights at Freddy's 4. We meet our first protagonist, the crying child. He's a child whose only friends are his Fredbear and Friends plushies in the corner of his bedroom. On his bed is his best friend, a Fredbear plush. When you attempt to exit the room, the Fredbear plush speaks. Tomorrow is another day. You then go on to complete the first night. However, take notice of the room. A closet door in front of you, and a door on each side of you, along with your bed behind you. Remember that. 4 days until the party. We resume in the same bedroom as last time, and the Fredbear plush speaks again. You know he is hiding again. He won't stop until you find him. You then can leave the room and see a hall with a grandfather clock, and the Fredbear plush is sitting on top of it. To the right, you find a little girl's room, with a flower painting on the wall, a pink bed, and a dismantled mangle on the floor. To the left, however, you can find a living room. Try to leave the house, and your older brother jumps out from behind the TV, wearing the plush foxy face to scare you. Tomorrow is another day. 3 days until the party. You find yourself inside Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, the first location built after Fredbear's, crying under a table. He left without you. He knows that you hate it here. We're right beside the exit. If you run, you can make it. The man in the Fredbear costume then appears, and you hide under the table and begin crying again. Tomorrow is another day. 2 days until the party. He hates you. You have to get up. Don't you remember what you saw? The exit's the other way. You find yourself outside, met by a girl holding a plush trap doll. My daddy says I have to be careful with him, or I will pinch my finger. Continue on, and you meet a redhead with pigtails and green eyes. You better be careful. I hear they come alive at night, and if you die, they hide your body and never tell anyone. Why do you look so worried? See you at the party. Keep going and you will find an older kid laughing on the sidewalk. Aren't you the kid who always hides under the table and cries? Stop being such a baby. Keeping on going and you come across a kid holding a balloon. Are you going to the party? Everyone's going to the party. Oh wait, you have to go. It's your birthday. Keep running and you end up back home. Be careful. You continue to your bedroom and your brother jumps out to scare you again. You fall down and cry on the floor. Tomorrow is another day. 1 day until the party. You find yourself in a service room with a bunch of parts and animatronic heads. Behind you there's a suit with wires and parts hanging out of the neck. Please let me out, you cry. Please! Your cries go louder. You fall to the ground. Please let me out, you cry as your attempts grow weaker. It's the day of the party. You find yourself at your birthday party, surrounded by your brother and his friend, all wearing masks of the animatronic characters, Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, and Foxy. Your brother is kind of a baby, isn't he? It's hilarious. Why don't we get him a closer look? He'll love it. No, please, you cry out. Your cries are pointless as the teenagers lift you into the air and carry you to the stage. You squirm and scream as they move you closer to Fredbear. You feel them moving you closer to his mouth and let go of your body. You fall limp as your head is stuck in Fredbear's mouth. You hear the group laughing as you begin to panic even more. You jerk around and your tears fly rapidly. Everything goes quiet. It all goes dark. Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. I'm sorry. You hear your brother pleading to your lifeless body lying in a hospital bed. His cries fade as you slip away. You're broken. We are still your friends. Do you believe that? I'm still here. I will put you back together. Your own cries fill the empty space of the void that you now float in. I hope you all enjoyed my dramatic recreation of the events of FNaF 4 because I had a lot of fun reading all that. I want this video to serve not only as a reminder to fans that may have not, visited these different parts of the franchise in a while, but also an explanation to people who may just now be getting into the series. Now, we have to ask, what the hell does all of this mean to the lore? That was a lot. Most of this game is from the perspective of the crying child and his experiences with his older brother's bullying. Notice how I said most of this game. Remember when I said pay attention to the layout of the gameplay bedroom? It's vastly different from the crying child's room that we see in the cutscenes. This leads me to believe that we do not play as the crying child in these moments, but someone else. Someone that is battling with the effects of seeing his little brother die at the hands of his own mistakes. That's right, in the actual gameplay of FNaF 4, we play as the crying child's older brother. He's haunted by the nightmares of his friend's mask running down the halls, and hallucinations of his brother's pills, IV pole, and flowers by his bed. Due to his father being swamped in his businesses, he was in charge of watching his little brother, and he had failed. To remember his brother, he keeps his Foxy plush in the closet and his Freddy plush on his bed. I've laid out every single detail in the game, except one thing. Something that to this day has no real answer. The box. What's in the box? As Scott says in a Steam post, it's the pieces put together. 4 games, 1 story. But there's nothing that links all 4 of the base games together besides like Dead Kids and the Fazbear name, right? Wrong. What's the one thing that connects all these games, all of these stories into one cohesive world? The Afton family, a father destroyed by the death of his youngest son, a brother haunted by his mistakes and grim choices of the past, a sister too curious for her own good, and a mother who is lost to the terror of the world surrounding this family. This game series isn't just about dead kids and killer animatronics, it's about a family torn apart by grief and anger. I bet you're wondering, where do we go next? We have 2 deaths that don't really happen in a game. They're more just the story is laid out in a game. It doesn't happen in the game. If that makes sense. Nothing in this world does. After the death of his son due to Henry's creation, William is stricken by anger and grief. So, when Henry's daughter is attending a birthday at the location, William pulls up after she's locked out by a group of kids. He then kills her and throws her body in the alleyway. The security puppet inside the building then wanders outside to lay by her side, and they become one. This introduces the marionette. As you remember in FNaF 4, as I just explained earlier, there is a girl's bedroom in the house, meaning he has a sister. And where do we meet that sister? FNaF sister location. We don't actually continue with the game yet, no. We venture to a story in sister location, but not taking place during the time of sister location. If that makes sense. Throughout sister location, before each night, we get voice lines of a little girl speaking. As each night progresses, the little girl seems to anxiously want to get closer to an animatronic that her father made just for her.
Daddy, why won't you let me play with her? Daddy, you let the other children go see her. Why won't you let me go? Daddy, just once let me go play with her. She's so pretty and shiny. Didn't you make her just for me? Daddy, she can make balloons. Have you seen her make balloons? Oh, Daddy, let me go to her. Daddy isn't watching. Don't tell Daddy that I'm here. I wanted to watch your show too. I don't know why he won't let me come see you. You're wonderful. Where did the other children go?
Eventually, she gets too close and is scooped up by the robot, killing her and possessing who we know as Baby. This set up the events of Sister Location, but I don't think we're quite at Sister Location yet. I am fully aware that people have done timelines before. This story has been laid out before. I know. I know MatPat's done one, I know FNaF has done one, I've not only had disagreements on some parts of timelines, I want to lay out my own. I want to do research myself. I want to test, is it possible to not use the books at all? If not, that's somewhat devastating. Not everybody can afford to go out and buy every single book in a series. I don't know. That's just a little tangent I felt like going on. Now is the part, the videos where I explain why do I think these things, because I bet there were a lot of points where you're just like, I'm gonna explain why I think these things. Why do I think we begin with FNaF 4? This game takes place at a point where Fredbear and Spring Bonnie were still animatronics on display. I mean, I think that's a pretty good point for it taking place so early. But a big discussion point is whether or not Sister Location takes place before FNaF 4. And I don't think it does. He has to have a reason as to why he built them to lure and capture children. I don't like the idea of him just, being inherently evil. I think a father stricken by grief of the loss of his son and then taking other people's kids away, I think that is so much more interesting than just, like a purple Michael Myers, basically. And I don't believe that the cutscenes in FNaF 4 and the gameplay of FNaF 4 take place at the same time either. Just like Sister Location. I think it's all taking place at a different point in time. I do honestly believe that FNaF 4 and the death of the crying child is the first thing that happens in these games. I'm only going by games. I'm not going by books. I'm not trying to explain, when did the franchise start? When did Henry and William decide to get the idea to do all this? I don't know. I don't care as much for the speculation of things more than what do we have evidence for, me saying that the older brother of FNaF 4 is actually who we play as in the game. I know in the most recent book, FNaF 4 is talked about, and it's this whole hallucinatory gas thing. I don't know, but I'm choosing to ignore that because I'm not paying attention to the games. Whoa! Which means I get to ignore every weird detail like Phasgoo that's ever been created. This is kind of a mess. I've recorded all these videos in very different segments, so editing them together is going to be annoying, but it will be all cohesive for you guys. I love you. You're welcome. A lot of people have looked at it from, we play as the crying child, it passing through dying or something like that. I don't know. People have some weird thoughts about FNaF 4. We're playing as the crying child, seeing the hospital room in his bed, we're playing as the crying child. It could work. Sure. There's nothing to go against that. Looking at it from the perspective of the older brother. The animatronics coming from each side are him being haunted by his friends' masks. I find it a lot more satisfying to me because I don't know. I like the effects of guilt portrayed in media a lot. And there's nothing really going against what I'm saying as far as I could find, at least not in the games. Reminder, I'm going by the games. I'm not including the books. So, if anybody wants to bring up anything in the books that's saying I'm wrong, screw you, okay? But yeah, no, and then to explain, why I think Henry's daughter and Elizabeth's death comes next. I think the idea of... This is something I haven't even thought about. Hold on. Is he called William in the games? Do they call him William in the games? I need to figure this out. Hold on. Disregard if I ever said William. It wasn't real. I'm, Men in Black, pretend I have a pen. Men in Black, Afton's son dying to, a creature that Henry created, I think, would be perfect motive for Afton to go and kill Henry's daughter. And then him feeling that rush. This is really morbid. Him feeling that rush or in that thrill of killing is what caused him to create the Sister Location animatronics, and build them to where they lure kids. There's a lot that's revealed in games that's not really a part of the game, so it's hard for me to say that the game comes next. You have the death of the crying child, and then you have the reeling and the grief of the older brother dealing with that death that he accidentally caused. And then you have Afton's grief taking form of getting revenge and killing Henry's daughter. And then he gets that rush, he gets that thrill of the kill, if you will. And so he builds the sister location animatronics. However, I don't think that's where we go next. At all. Because if you remember, sister location, that takes place in the storage facility, not Circus Baby's Pizza World. To find out where we go next, tune into the next video. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to hit the like button down below. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. And leave your comments down below disagreeing with me. Tear me apart in those comments, please. I live for that.
You what?
You know, I've done like 1 or 2 theory videos before. I really enjoy doing them. I love doing research on things that I, enjoy talking about. And yeah, so thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Please go watch more of my content. I swear I'm funny. I swear I'm great. Watch more of my content, please. I'm so funny and sexy and cool and awesome. I'm also really hyper. I need ADHD medication. Okay, thank you all. Bye!